Hi friends, welcome back to JWT authentication tutorial. So in this video we are going to show you the complete JWT authentication process such as registrations, login, profile and logout, and we will create the REST API for this. Suppose if we just go to the register and suppose I want to register with some name, that is John Doe, and email is john@email.com, and suppose password is 123456 and the confirm password 123456. So if we just click on this, we'll create a user. So you can see the user created successfully, and the user details also, we are getting the user details. And if you just go inside the database, we can see a new user is inserted, and you can see the password is in bigcrypt formatted, okay, and it is just inserted. And now if you want to log in with the same user, so we need the email and password. So just log in here, and here just pass email and password, okay, and I have to set the email as this and password 123456. so whatever we have registered, and just click on send, and it's logged in successfully, and we can see the barrier token is generated, and this is the authentication token. So basically if you just want to go to the profile section, we can use this barrier token. So simply just go to the profile, and if we just click on this, and it's showing nothing because we cannot authenticate this account. And if we just pass the authorization token, so this is basically the barrier token, and just paste this token here and click on send, we can see we are getting the details of this user. So by this token we are basically authenticating this user. And if you just want to log out, so just click on this, it will show some error because it cannot understand which profile you want to log out. So same way we need to pass the barrier token here and just click on send. So you can see user logged out. As the user logged out, we cannot get access the profile, so we are using the same barrier token, but just click on send, it's not getting any result, okay. So I am requesting you, please see the full video to understand the complete JWT authentication, and please like and share this video to your friends, and if you're new to this channel, please subscribe this channel for upcoming video. So please watch the full. So hi friends, welcome back to Laravel tutorial. In this video I am going to show you how to use JWT authentication, and I will show you full login, registration process, and after that the profile and generate new tokens. So all the things we will cover using JWT authentication, okay. So for this I need to install the Laravel application. So just use composer, create project, and Laravel, and suppose my project name is Laravel JWT auth, okay. So just enter this, so it will create a project, so it may take some time. So project is installed. Now just go to the Laravel JWT authentication and just open the Visual Studio Code. So here I am using the Visual Studio Code for development purpose. So this is my application, so you can see, so this is the fresh installation, and now run the server. So php artisan server, okay. So these links are created, so just copy the link and go to the Firefox, and let's paste this. So you can see this is the latest version, that is the 8.59 of this Laravel. So basically I will do here, we will create all the things, that is the login, registrations, and all the required things for authentication with the JWT, and we'll test through the Postman. So first connect the server. So just go to the localhost phpMyAdmin and just create a database. So here my database name is suppose Laravel JWT auth, okay. So just copy this to use in the environment section. So just go here, and this is the .env file, and just connect with the database. So my database name is Laravel JWT authentication and username root and password is abcd123 @ okay. So database configuration section is ready. So we need to migrate our database. So if you check here inside the database, we have a migration folder, and here we have 4 migration files. So let's migrate this. So just create another tab, so that PHP artisan migrate. Okay, just enter this. So migration is done. Now just go here and refresh the structure. So here you can see the 4 tables and the migration tables. Okay, so all the things are ready. So application is installed and database is connected. So next things we need to do, we need to install the JWT authentication and configure into our application. Okay. So now we need to install JWT packages and we need to configure this into our application. So just go to the Google and search JWT authentication docs. Okay, so let's use the JWT authentication docs. So here is the JWT authentication docs. So just go here, and here you can see the Laravel installation process. So to install JWT via Composer, so just copy this Composer require daemon JWT auth and just paste this. So it will install JWT authentication. So installation failed. So installation failed and rebooting composer.json. So what is the problem? So let's search this. Well, the PHP version 8.0 and someone saying the package does not support PHP 8. Now okay, so my PHP version is 8. So let's use the ignore platform requirements. So just copy these and just try to install again and just enter this. So I think it will download. Okay, so let's working this. So all are set. Now the next steps, we need to configure into our providers. So just go here, and here is my provider, and just copy this into the config app.php. So just go into the config app.php, and here is the providers. So just go into the provider section. So this is the provider array. So let's add this provider's name, and also let's add the aliases. So here I want to add some aliases. So here my aliases name JWT auth, right? And here just use daemon JWT auth, and here just write facets and then JWT auth. So here is the name JWT auth and class. And in the same way I want to use the JWT factory. So just copy this and change the class name, sorry, the alias name, JWT factory, and let's use the JWT factory also here. Okay, so all are done, and now let's publish this. So just use this and just go to the terminal and let's publish. So publishing is complete. So if you just want to create a token, that is, if you want to create the JWT token, you can create a token using this. So write PHP artisan JWT secret. Okay, so the secret key is generated and it's set it into the .env file. So if you just go inside the .env file and just scroll down, so here you can see the JWT secret key. Okay, so it's generated and also it's set it into the environment section. So now we need to configure the model and we need to set the auth guard. Okay, so now just go inside the browser and let's use the quick start section. So I'm closing this, it's not required for now. And here you can see the configuration. So update your model. So as per the JWT authentication document, so we need to configure our model. So just go inside the user model. So just go Visual Studio Code, and inside the app you will get the model folder. So inside the model you will get the default model. that is the user model, so it's getting when you created this application. And let's use the contracts JWT subject. Okay, so just copy this and let's use inside our model. So we need to use these things. And the next thing, so to use this contract JWT subjects on your user model, it's required the two methods, that is the JWT get identifier method and get JWT custom claims method. Okay, so let's copy this and just paste this inside your user model. So get JWT identifier, and the next things, the get JWT custom claims. So all are set. So our user model is set. So now we need to configure the guards. So just go inside the config again and just go inside the auth.php. So here you can see that is the default guard is web. I just want to change this API. So basically we will create API for authentication, and so further if you want to use suppose Angular or any others front-end application, you can use this. So basically we will create an API. So I want to set the default guard is APIs, and let's create an API. So just create here API and let's create. So first of all we need guard is API, so you can check here from this. So driver is JWT and provider is users. Okay, and here we are using the Laravel 8 version, and by default we are getting the hash here. So this is the hash factory and hash API tokens. So for this we need to make by default is false. So just write here false. Okay, so our set. So authentication part is done and user configuration done. So we need to go to the next part. So we need to create a controller and we will create some methods, that is login, register, logout option, and we'll test through the postman. Okay, so just go into the terminal and let's create PHP artisan make controller. Suppose my controller name is auth controller. Okay, so now enter this, and if you just go here you can see a new controller is created inside the app controllers, and this is the auth controller. Okay, so this is our controller, and let's create some functions, that is register functions, and we'll use the authentication. So first of all let's use the authentication and let's create a constructor. So we will use the auth API middleware. So first of all let's create routes for this, so it will be more better. So just go inside the routes. So here is the route, and here we'll use the api.php is the API routes, and let's create a route. Okay, so I want to create a route group so that we can set the middleware and we'll create a prefix for all the routes. Okay, so in this group we will create all the routes, that is the login, register, logout, refresh, whatever we need, right? So we will create a grouping, and let's inside the group just create a middleware. So right here middleware, and here I am to use the API middleware. So just write here API, and I want to set a prefix. So in this way you can set a prefix. So right here prefix, suppose my prefix is auth. Okay, and let's create a closer function. So right here function, and inside the function we'll create all those things, right? And let's pass the router here. So right here $router. Okay, and suppose I need to create the register function. So let's use the route, and this is obviously the post, and here just write the register. Okay, so right here register, and we'll use the auth controller. So first of all we need to use inside the controllers. So just use the app HTTP controllers, and name of the controllers, that is auth controller, right? So just copy this so that there will be no chance to make spelling mistake. and let's use this auth controller here, auth controller class, and I want to create a function inside the auth controller, that is the register. Right, and let's create the login function also. We need to create this in the next, right? So let's create this login also, and here also create a login. Okay, so let's create the register function first. So just create public function register. Okay, and here we need the request, so right here request $request, right? And the another function we need to create, that is the login. So let's copy this spelling from here and let's paste this. Okay, so first of all we will create the login and registration section, and we will do this later. Okay, and for authentication I want to set by default a constructor. So in the constructor I want to say the middleware, that is the API middleware. So right here public function and construct. Okay, and inside the constructor I want to set $this middleware. So only for API middleware it will work. So in this revision I am using the middleware, and here the middleware name, that is auth API. So right here auth API, right? And here I want to pass one extra things, that is accept, and inside the accept I will use the login and registration. So I will create another array, and from that array we will use the login comma the register. So use the register. Okay, so all are set. So just add a semicolon. So what is the error? So actually you closed extra brackets, right? So all are ready. So let's create the registration method. So here I want to use the validation first, so that the without name, email, password they cannot access or they cannot submit, right? So first of all we need to use the validator here. Use validator, 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 sorry spelling mistake, and here we'll call this validator. So right here $validator, validator, anything, that is the variable, and let's call the validator, and let's make a request all. So right here request and all, we want to validate all the request, and inside these we want to pass the variable names. So we'll pass, that is the name, and name will be the required, and the next things we need to pass the email. So right here email, and also the email is required, and I need to pass the password, also the password is required, and I want to set another things, that is the password will be the suppose string type, and it will be same as the confirm password. So simply write confirmed, and I want to set the minimum password length, that is 6. Okay, and also the email will be the string type, and also this should be proper email validation, and this should be the unique to the users table. So you can write here in this way unique and users. Okay, so in this way we can set the unique users. So basically this is the table name, so not double, it will be single. So basically this is the table name. So as we are using this, so this is the users, so we are writing this users, right? So all are set. Now let's add the condition. So if the validation failed, we will send some response. So write here if $validator false, or you can say the fails, then we'll send a response. So right here, return response, and we'll send the JSON response. So just right here, return response JSON. And what we'll pass, so we'll pass all the validators. So just right here, $validator and errors. Okay, and it will be passed through the JSON format. So right here, JSON. Okay, and we'll pass the status code, that is 400. Okay, so all are set. So all are set, and if the validation not fails, that means if the user enters the correct record, then what happen? Then we need to just register the user. So right here, $user equal to, we need to call the user model. So we need to just use the app models, that is the namespace, and let's add this here, app models, and the name of the model is user. Okay, app models slash user, and should use this. Okay, so this is my model name, and let's use this user colon create. Okay, so create is the method to create any users. So just here write array merge, and inside here we'll just pass the validator. So right here, validator validated. Okay, and we will send the password into the be kept formatted. So just how to pass this, so simply pass the extra parameter, that is password, and the password will be as bcrypt. Okay, and let's pass the $request password. And if the user created successfully, we need to pass the success message. So let's use the return and response, and here we'll pass through the JSON format. So right here, JSON, sorry, spelling mistake, JSON, and inside here we will pass the few things. That is, first of all, we have to pass the status code, that is the correct one. So write 201, that is the user, and I want to set a message, that is message, and here we will say the message, the user successfully registered. And the next things, so register, REGISTERED, registered. And the next things, I need to pass the full user information. So the full information inside the $user, and let's add another, that is user, and we'll pass the full user information. Okay, so all are ready. Now we need to test this, whatever we are getting, all are right or not. So just open the Postman. So here, this is the API testing tool, and we'll use this to test our registration section first. So let's create a collection. So just create, that is new collection, and collection name is suppose Laravel JWT auth. Okay, so all the APIs from this Laravel JWT auth we will save inside here, right? So Laravel JWT auth, and here let's create a request. So first of all, my project URL, that is the 127.0.1800, and if you just go inside this api.php, we are going to call this register, and this is the post, and this is api.php, and the prefix is auth. So all those things we need to mention. So just use the post, and here we are using the API route, and here the prefix is auth. So just use the auth slash the registration. Okay, so now if you just go inside the body, and let's pass some form data. So what will be the form data? So name, and then email, and then password, And the last thing, we are using the confirmed, so that we need to use the password confirmation. Okay, so all are set. Now let's check whether our validation function is working or not. So just click on the send, and it's showing some error. So validation make functions error. Okay, so let's see what happened. So validator make, so we have to use the functions here, and just click on send again. And here you can see the name field is required, email field is required. So if we just go here, the preview, all the section we can see, just pretty, we can see the validation message. So that means the validation is working, and it's 400 bad request. So actually we are passing this. Then I have to pass the name. Suppose the name is John Joy, and the email is john@email.com, and here I have to send the password, that is 123456. Okay, and I have to use the same in the confirm password. So if you want to write 123456, and let's click on send, and you can see the user registered successfully, that is the message, and all the user information, that is name, email, updated at, created at, and IDs. So whatever we have inside the database. So if we just go inside the users and click on this, we can see a new user is registered. Okay, so all the fields we are getting from here. So registration process is done. Now if you want to log in, how we can log in? So first of all, let's rename the request name, that is for register, and I want to create another request for login. So before that, we need to create the login functions. So here we will create the same things for the registration. So we will use the validation first. So this is actually the common things, and here just write the name and email. So we don't need name, actually we need email and only password, and we don't need to use the unique users. Okay, so this is the required, and this is the email. So we need email should not blank, and the email should have the proper email validation, and we don't want to use the confirmed as we are going to log in. So we only need the email and registrations. And the next things, if the validation fails, then we need to response, that is the return response JSON validator email, and here I want to pass the error code 422. Okay, so right here 422. Okay, so you can check all the response code from the net also, and you can see all the definition, or maybe I can create a defined video to introduce what is the proper code or what is the purpose of the status code. Okay, and let's, if the authentication is true, means if the validation falls, then it will respond the validation error, and if not, then it will try to log in. So first I will check if the token already exists or not. So if the token, the dollar token equal to, not equal to the auth attempt user validation, right? So auth attempt. So you can understand, using this attempt we can log in into the Laravel application, and we'll pass the validator. So right here validator, and pass the validated. Okay, so just like previous, so we use the validator validated. Okay, so it's added, and inside this we will just pass the unauthorized. Okay, so if the auth attempts not equal to the token, that means it's unauthorized. So we need to create the separate token for this. So first of all, let's respond some message. So right here return response, and here we need to pass all the message using the JSON, and inside here just pass a message, that is the error, and just write the error, that is unauthorized. Okay, so write here in this way, unauthorized. Okay, and we'll pass the response code, that is the for unauthorized we need to pass the response code is 401, and we need to create a new token. So how we can create a new token? So let's create another function, that is public function, and suppose function name is create new token. So actually we need to create token in different places. That's the reason we are creating different functions, and we will use this function every section. So this is the created token. So let's call this created token from here. So just go here and just return. So to call the functions we need to use this. Actually this is calling the current controllers functions and created new token, and we need to pass the $token here. Okay, so all are set, and here is the error. So actually we need to use the array here. So okay, so now let's create the created new token function. So this is basically the simple things. So here we need to create. So suppose I am directly just returning the response. You can take it in a different variable also, JSON, and inside this here we will create the token, and let's create array inside here, and here just write access token, and the access token is $token, and I am to use the barrier token here. So just write here token type equal to the barrier token. So simply write barrier, and I want to say the expires. So expires in, this is the variable, and here just write auth factory. So we need to call the auth factory and just use the get ttl. Okay, so this is the function we can use, get ttl into 60. Okay, so all are set, and finally we need to pass the user information. Okay, so user, and write here auth arrow user. Okay, the create token section is ready, so we can call from the login function. So if you check in the database, you can see already we have a john@email.com is registered, so we can log in from the postman. So just create another, so just create another request. So just copy this and paste it here, and here I want to call the login function. So simply just write here login, and also it is the post method, and we need to pass the parameter, that is the from data. We need to pass email and password, right? And the email is which we already registered, that is john@email.com, and let's go to the postman and pass the value, and we have set it, the password is 123456. So let's use this and just click on send. So here we have error, that is, so the error is showing from the JWT subject. Actually we use this JWT subject. So if we just go inside the user model, so we are using the JWT subject, but we have not implements these things. So write implements JWT subject. Okay, and let's try it, let's see what happened. So just click on the send, and you can see the access token, and the token type is barrier token, and expires in 3600 seconds, and all the user information. Okay, so all are ready. So we get that token, that means we are logged in. Okay, so our login section is done. So if you further want to use any authenticated things, that means if you want to go into your dashboard, or if you want to go in your accounts or any section, you need to use this token as a barrier token, and we need to pass these things with a request. Okay, so as we are logged in and we are getting the access token, That means we can go inside our profile section. So let's try to access our profile. So first of all, let's create a routes. So here simply just copy from previous and let's try to access the profile. So here the profile will be the get link, and here just write profile. So this is the link, and I want to create a functions inside the auth controller, that is profile. So now let's go here and create a function, public function, and the name of the function is profile, right? And let's add to response. If the logged in, then we will get the response from the logged in user. So simply just write here return and response, and the response should be in JSON format, and I will response the authentication. So write here auth user. So I want to response the currently logged in users data. Okay, so simply just go here. So this is the profile link. So let's call this from the routes. So let's use these things and let's change the link into the profile. So this is the profile link, and this is the get request. Okay, so let's click on send. So here we are getting nothing, so we cannot get access of these things. Why? Because as we are logged in, so we have a token. So to access the dashboard, we need to use this token. So just go here, the authorization sections, and pass the barrier token. So simply just write here the token, and now if we just click on the send, we can get the response. And if you just change the token anything, something right here, that means it is not valid token, so we cannot access the dashboard, right? Only we can access the dashboard after the valid token verification. Okay, so that was the simple user profile section, and let's see how we can log out. So after logout, we can go back to the profile section again, and let's discuss these things. So how to log out? So let's create another function, that is the logout function. So just go here and create another links, that is for logout, and logout, and this is the logout, and always it will be the post request. So let's create logout methods inside the auth controller. So just create public function logout. Okay, so how to log out? So we all know that. So we need to use the auth, and we need to pass the logout method. We need to call the logout method. Okay, so these are logged out, and here just copy these things. I want to set response, that is user successfully logged out. So after logged out, we cannot get this user, so just remove these things, and here the simple message user logged out, right? So all are okay, and we don't need to pass anything, so just leave this. Okay, so now call these logout functions from the postman. So just copy this link and create another, and this will be the post. And how to log out? So let's call the logout URL first, and to log out we need to pass the token. We need to log out the particular user which will match the token. So simply just go to the authorization section, and the same way just paste this inside the barrier token and click on send. So user logged out. Now the thing is, if you want to check the profile section again, so here it cannot be accessible because you were logged out, right? So how we can access again? So just go inside the login and just relog in again, and we are getting the new token. So using the new token, we can again access the profile. Okay, so new token is added, and click on send. So we can see the profiles. And if you just click on the logout again and change the token, so I want to log out the particular user and click on send. so we can log out. Okay, so this is the simple things. You can register your user and you can logged in, you can get your profile and you can log out. So using JWT authentication we can do all the things. Hope you will like this video. So please comment if you have any queries about this video, and please like and subscribe this channel to get more video like this. Thanks for watching this video. Have a good day. Bye.